Hello my friends, family, esteemed colleagues. Recently I was reminded about one disease that for a brief time was kind of hitting the air. People were interested about, and this was the Morgellons disease. Now, I had one client with Morgellons disease. She was from Britain, and her skin issues calmed down using a self-use protocol. And since I was not anymore asked about this issue, I stopped even thinking about it because I just don't see it. I don't have anyone that suffers from this problem that I'm in contact with here in Peru, or even my family in Croatia, friends. Nobody's mentioning it except one lady, friend of mine, who recently reminded me that, Darko, why don't you write about or talk about Morgellons, because so many people suffer from it. So many, but nobody's contacting me. So, you know, I just respond always to how many people are interested in a certain topic. So I go from the most people interested towards the less people interested. And the one individual asking me, well, that usually gets shoved under the carpet. So I promised to make a video or article about this. And to be honest, I don't have much experience with it because I have not been working with people that experience this problem. So I had to open the internet and the pages of science, and as soon as you see an article, again, whose article is this? Mayo Clinic. Okay, trusted friends from Mayo Clinic. So they called Morgellons disease as delusional parasitosis. So why it is called delusional parasitosis? Well, parasitosis means that it is caused by parasites, but why delusional? Because for something to be caused by parasite, well, you have to locate parasite, and parasite is living thing that eats and breathes. And apparently Morgellons fibers do none of it. They are actually called dead fibers, but they move. So kind of sweeping it under the rug, even by the science, they call it delusional. So they say, well, you know, there are fibers which are dead fibers. There are cellulose fibers. And cellulose fibers in an animal body. Where does the cellulose come from? And why forming a fiber? Cellulose is a complex sugar. It is not going to be transported into the body. Cellulose is non-digestible. So how does it appear in the bloodstream? And why in the skin? Well, number one, cellulose is not black. And of course, not all of these fibers are black, but Some are white, some are black. And black is not from cellulose. But this is being ignored because it just complicates things that you want to hide. As usual, it is always good to go to the symptoms. Now, in Mayo Clinic, there is not much of a symptom. They simply don't want to touch this, even with 10-foot pole. So we go to different site, Healthline. Okay, so let's see. Again, I don't have experience with it except with one client, probably 5 or 6 years ago, maybe more. I was already here in Peru, so between 9 and I would say 6 years ago was when I dealt with this client. And this is where the issue was popular. And then it disappeared. Well, disappeared from not even mainstream, but all the media. You don't see much of, or I didn't see any of this Morgellons problems for years. So it surprises me when somebody asks me, why don't you talk about this? So many people suffer from it, so many where? But must be, again, it's shoved under the carpet. So what are the symptoms? Well, in Healthline they say fatigue, insomnia, joint pain, itchy skin, depression, anxiety, with exception. Well, no, not even with exception. All of those signs are actually symptoms of toxic blood, toxic body. And itchy skin actually is adding symptom of a detox. When body is detoxifying through the skin, why is it doing it? Because it's low on blood plasma. So body is trying to waste as little plasma as possible while eliminating this fiber. So it goes through skin. Skin wastes least amount of plasma. Urine is the worst. Mucus is a second because you still need a lot of liquid, a lot of plasma to create mucus. Skin, it can be done locally through irritation. Now what I mean by irritation? You have a, let's say, garment that is rubbing on your skin. And this creates friction. Body sends more lymph there to cool the place down. Lymph is toxic. If blood is toxic, lymph is toxic. So more toxins are hitting this place, making the area toxic. Toxic area, again, patches of it, which are more toxic than the rest of the skin, because more blood, toxic plasma, toxic lymph comes there. It creates havoc on the cells. They simply are dehydrated, but they have to get these toxins off of them. So they have to squirt plasma on them. But they are dehydrated, they don't have the plasma. So they have to be put through process of forced hydration, which we call inflammation. So the area with higher toxicity will inflame to squeeze more plasma into the cell, so then cell can squeeze it through the membrane and wash off the irritant, which is a foreign protein, in this case cellulose fiber. And through sweat pushes it out. But the inflammation causes increased pressure on sensory nerve and itchiness. So inflamed area starts to be itchy. So you start scratching and you break the skin. Again, this is a natural way how we speed up the detox of the toxic area. You break the skin, you let it ooze the lymph out, the plasma out, cleanse it, and then skin heals and it's cleaner. This is the part of natural programming for detox in severe cases, because you're actually breaking your skin. Well, you start having in these areas, as you are detoxifying, these fibers are then being expelled out. And you can find these fibers. What is crazy about these fibers? That these fibers are behaving like a living organism. They are moving. Although they don't have any organelle that living organism or cell would have. They have no metabolism. They are living death. Now we have heard about nanorobots, nanobots. And we know that they put them everywhere to affect us, to test them, to spy on us. Not only that they could be part of the packaging or incorporated into electronic devices in the house, but they're also putting them directly into the food. You swallow them, you eat them. Now, is this how they got into the body? Again, they would not be absorbed from intestines into the skin or into the blood. So, and we are talking also that they are formed from cellulose and keratin. So your body will produce the keratin. How this is controlled? Well, we have also learned that everything is expression of frequencies. And by achieving particular vibration, you can have anything behave like a living organism. They showed it with the sand. You can put sand on a vibrating plate, and under particular vibration, the sand starts forming something resembling a night crawler, a worm, moving worm, vibration. Remember, everything what you see is created from frequency, because the frequency is being in your body, in your robot, is being treated according to the program. So particular frequency will be shown as a light, turned into particle, and turn into whatever this frequency is programmed to present. So you can make so-called inorganic matter behave as an organic matter, even without having the organs inside. Again, if you go and do some research on the internet, you will find all this. Okay? So, where is this frequency coming from that will then affect the people in combination with the crap that they were laced in, that was put in their body, then to form this type of a vibration that your brain, or their brain, our brains, are going to interpret, the programming will interpret it as a fiber, moving fiber. And You can check it yourself. On the microscope, you can see the fiber is moving like a worm, and actually shows even like it's aware of its existence, lifting up one part like head, like looking around. So again, frequency is a crazy stuff. We just have been fooled for so long that we think that there is a difference between atoms that form a rock and atoms that form salt and atoms that are organic or inorganic. Because atoms do not exist. These are all forms of vibration, frequency, which we have been programmed to experience them as a reality in particular way. But they can be manipulated. Just looking at the symptoms that people have when they have Morgellons, you know right away that they are toxic. To be toxic, they have to be dehydrated because their body was not able to cleanse. This is why they become toxic. And they were dehydrated because they didn't drink enough water and they did not have enough minerals in it. They did not have enough plasma. They could not produce plasma. So, blood became dehydrated, body unable to cleanse, and start storing the toxin in a tissue. And appearance of inorganic fibers should not surprise us when we start understanding that it is all about vibration, and there is a difference between vibration created by a God, creator, and vibration that we are creating. Once when we understand what frequency you need to do something, well, you can reproduce the frequency. Brain can do it, and we have now sophisticated machines that can do it as well. Is the frequency coming from cell towers? Most likely. Your cell phones. So if you have Morgellons, get rid of cell phones, but you can never shelter yourself from these microwaves because they are being we are being bombarded by them. But the bodies can adapt to them. They adjust, like they adjusted to radio signal, then they adjusted to TV signal. They can adjust to this microwave signal in time. But if the signal is programmed to a particular frequency that resembles a natural frequency of so-called living thing, well, the body has been tricked. We have been tricked. And we have moving inorganic fiber causing the problem. Where it comes from? Biolab. Okay? Virology, studying gain function. How to create something that is going to be pathogenic in nature, cause problems in the body. Scientists are duped into thinking that their investigation is great for showing the truth and how we can use the science to heal ourselves. We don't need science to heal ourselves. We are equipped automatically with autopilot for healing. The science is being developed as a science manipulated by the dark side. And then we have been polluted with the science to misunderstand reality in our lives, to fear a God creator that if we don't do as he says, he's going to punish us severely and put us in hell, and all these baloney stupid stories that people grab and they cling to them because they became heavily religious. It's all brainwashing. If you suffer from Morgellons, contact me. Let's work together. Let's see what we can do. Okay, but basically, body is created to self-cleanse. So it is going to cleanse itself if it has plasma, because it uses plasma for cleansing. You want to wash something, you need water. Body needs plasma. Water with minerals. Has to be electroconductive. And it will do it. But then, of course, other symptoms will show up, because already, apparently, from presented other symptoms, only people with low voltage are prone to have this problem. And low voltage is because they are toxic. So, once when you start hydrating and changing the diet, which is extremely important in this case as well, now your body is not going to only be expulsing the Morgellon fibers, but all toxins that have been stuck in it. So, definitely are going to have very strong symptoms of so-called flu, headaches, muscle aches, joint aches, fever. You'll think that you have been poisoned, and then right away, because you were drinking now water with salt, salt is so bad, they told me salt is bad, I cannot, and now what did I do? Well, we always go back to the programming to find solution or to find the information, why do we feel like this? But as soon as you go back to science, you misunderstand your body. So, I always say we have to learn to understand the body, the reality, who we are. How is this reality constructed? And then we can understand what is sickness. If you don't know what health is, you definitely don't know what sickness is, because you think pain is sickness. Well, pain is just symptom. One of the symptoms. And there are many. And they are always present with any disease. Always. So, we just have to start learning from scratch. All new type of science. And we have to bury science and leave it behind. To do so, we cannot avoid going quantum. Because this is where it all starts. You cannot understand anything until you start understanding quantum field. Why? Because essence of everything, and I mean literally, essence of everything is consciousness. Consciousness creates the quantum field, because quantum field is field of energy, electric, electromagnetic energy, which is produced under influence of consciousness. And then it is manipulated into physicality, we call reality. And this cannot be done unless programs are written, robots created, that will be injected in this reality. You can get brand new computer from a factory. You plug it in, oh, you open it, it doesn't even want to go on. Light goes on, but screen, nothing happens. Why? It needs a program. Everything is there minus programs. So now you gotta load programs, one by one. What you want this computer to calculate, to show you. And it will show you through screen and through sound. And if you want to be sophisticated, you can make a vibration pad, put this everything on shock absorbers with little motors, and it will show you vibration and actually start showing you more of the real feeling of the game that you will be playing on there. But what consciousness have created, it is not satisfied having it on a screen, even having it as a hologram, because it wanted to experience it. So it had to fracture itself and enter, become part of the game. And this is what we are. We are pieces of the consciousness injected in robot. Another one is injected into animal. Another one is injected in a stone. One is injected in everything that exists has consciousness in it. And then through senses we start living the game named reality, life on planet Earth. But everything starts from consciousness, then goes through vibration. Vibration creates sound, or the other way, goes through sound that creates vibration. Yeah. Vibration then creates collision, producing sparks of light, produces expansion wave, retraction wave, or expansion energy, retraction energy, which when they touch, they produce spark. Negative, positive, you touch them, they spark, creating light. So this is what you have in quantum field. You have no particles. It's all in wave form. And waveform is not the way, it's spreading form from sound. Boom! So you have this, and you have many of those, colliding together, pop up, you get contact points, and now your consciousness can touch contact points, put them together, create frequencies, and designate them. Okay, bunch of these frequencies creates the dodecahedron and quindecahedron, and all of a sudden, okay, this is going to be program shown from eyes into light, and this is apple, and this is human, and this is rock, and this is how everything is created. Okay, so now we go from Morgellons into quantum physics or mechanics. It's all one. It's all same soup. We have to start learning about it because we are living it, and we have to take the advantage of it so we can use this and create the most beautiful life possible. And we can do it. And we are doing it right now. So join us. Remember, thoughts you are using to create. It's your intent through the thought. If you have problem with any disease, learn the truth. A lot of them are emotional, but it is toxicity always. What is toxicity? Is blemish in frequency. Frequency that does not resonate exactly the way it should be. So it resonates like an apple, but something is a little bit out of tune, so apple is rotten and stinks and inedible. Same is with body. It resonates like a body. But some frequency there is not in tune. Well, that's the diseased part of the body that creates symptoms. Correct the frequency. Sometimes you cannot correct it, so expulse it. Get it out of the body. Get it out of your auric field. That's called healing. So if you have a problem with Morgellons, understand it's a toxin inside of your body, in the blood. Body wants to eliminate. It cannot eliminate because you are dehydrated. The fact that you are dehydrated shows by the symptoms. Low of energy, joint pains, muscle pains, anxiety, depression. Your blood is very toxic. And this is why it affects the brain and affects muscles. It may affect every tissue, every organ in your body. And because of this, it cannot cleanse what we have been intentionally poisoned by, bioweapons created in biolabs, usually military biolabs, military controlled by the cabal. Don't blame America. Don't blame Russia. Don't blame Israel. It is the cabal. Cabal is one that is spread everywhere. Yeah, most of it is controlled by Israel, by London, by Brussels, by Zurich, New York, Washington. But it's not American people, and it's not British people, and it's not Jewish people. It's not Russian people. It's a cabal. It's a darkness affecting the light. And now the light is coming back. And once when light sparks, darkness disappears. There is no way darkness can stand. There is no way that darkness, devil, can win over Creator God. Because you can have light, you trap some darkness in a box from a dark room and open the box in a bright room and see if the room gets dark. It ain't happening. But you can go in a dark room and just light a candle and you can see. You are penetrating. The darkness disappears. This is the power of frequency. This is the power of Creator. Okay? Thank you for listening. Sorry I keep jumping from one theme to another because it is all one. It's all like this. And we have to understand it, that it's like this. It's not a little thing that is a problem. It's problem deeper within, which fortunately we have dealt with, and now exposure is coming out. Exposing the players, the dark players, and allowing truth to surface and light to shine. Thank you. God bless you. Namaste.